after the song anyway, right?
All right. Hey, everyone. Oops, Alejandro's popping off and hopping back on. So there he is. Hey, guys. Thank you for being with us on our Sunday gathering in Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's legacy. Continuing to meet, continuing to spread education and awareness and advocacy, all in her name, in her legacy, and for her family. So thank you for continuing to meet with us. I want to check in with everyone, but here's what I'm thinking. Because we started like, I don't know. I need a few deep breaths. You guys good with that? Can we take some breaths together? Okay, let's do that. So yeah, we're gonna sound like a bunch of orcas in a pod, and that's cool. So everyone just to get ourselves centered, let's just stop for a second. Everyone take a deep breath in very slowly. And release. And another deep breath in. And release. And one more deep, slow, deep breath in. And release. All right. Almost sounds like the lime kiln live stream early this morning. You guys weren't listening to that, go back and check it out. Those were the teas, Howard? Was that what's going on out there?
That's what I understand. And there was even a short video and a lot of calls. I missed it myself, but I would like to go back and check it out too. But yeah, right there on Lime Kiln, about 7:45 a.m. this morning.
It's beautiful. Let's check in, Howard. So how are you? How are you doing?
Doing really well, thanks. Yeah, I got over a side effect from something Thursday night, and I was shaking all day Friday, but Saturday better, and today almost normal.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Sorry you were struggling with that.
Yeah, and it's almost up to 30 degrees here now for the first time in 3 days.
That's awesome. Alejandro, completely different weather there, but cloudy, right? It's cloudy over there in Florida?
No, a little bit. Yes, it was very, very hot. So it was good to go to the swimming pool. You know what I mean? So but now we get a little bit colder, but the temperature here always change. But I'm good to be here again. Last week I wasn't able to do it, but today I'm happy to be here with you all. Thank you
Thank you. And we understand and we know that you were with us anyway. So, because you're always with us, Alejandro. Christine, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here. It's kind of cold here too, but I'm happy to be here and spread the love to everyone because we all need it.
So we're going hot, cold, hot, cold. Let's go to Alma. What's going on?
Exactly. So it's days like this where this huge gap in temperature is why I'm here in Key West and not in the Pacific Northwest. You know, here I work with dolphins. Up there I could work with orcas, but it's too cold for me. I don't know. My bones are. So here I am, stuck here with them.
Thanks for being with us. And Alma's been really taking a huge lead with well you'll see when we get to talking about the species and really focusing on the 137 species affected by salmon in the dams. And so thank you, Alma, for all the work you've been doing and putting into that. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Deborah.
Back in the cold, but I got a bench warmer. I think this dog is really starting to enjoy TokiTV. So finding hope everywhere you can.
That's awesome. Well, there's not really many warms to go to, so I'll go to my next warm. But things here in New Mexico are cold too. It's a different kind of cold, but it's definitely cold. So, but I'm well and I'm happy to be here. And now I'll kick it over to Deb Cruz.
Oh, it's been cold, but no snow, darn it. I miss the snow. But the mountains are gorgeous. They're all blanketed in a beautiful layer of snow. We need some more, and I think we should explain that we were over the last couple of days in single digits. So when we're sitting here talking about cold, that's what we're talking about. But we can't compare to Minnesota. Right,
No,
Casey?
it feels like -18 right now. It's freezing.
It's below zero.
Is it below zero?
It's -1 right now.
Yep. But
Wow.
you know what? I'm going to go for a walk after TokiTV in the woods anyway, because we just got to get out.
Send us
we
some pictures.
We don't have a lot of snow either. So it's been kind of a snow drought in Minnesota. We have maybe an
dusting.
inch, maybe an inch on the ground. And you know what? It's been so warm up until like 2 weeks ago that our lake that's just down the road that I'm always by the woods is just now frozen over after all this time. It froze over for a while and then it melted and now it's frozen again. So yeah, it's a very unusual winter here. So what are you going to do? Global warming. It's a real thing.
Yeah, thanks for being here today. I want to tell myself just a little bit. So last weekend or week, I don't remember when, I went and got a massage and they have a hot tub outside and a cold plunge. And so I was like, no one was going in the cold plunge. So I was talking to these people in the hot tub and they were like, oh, it's like 50 some degrees and it's too cold. And I was just laughing because I'm like, I think I'm from the Pacific Northwest now because I've dipped a couple times in the freezing cold water. So I went and got in and everyone was like, oh. And I'm like, man, these people here are a bunch of wimps. Because it wasn't that bad. I could still feel my legs. And when we did that in January, I started to not feel my legs. So
You want to come up here for the polar plunge next week?
Yeah.
no, I don't. I don't.
Solid ice. You're not going to be able to do it in solid ice.
It's true.
Oh, they cut a hole and then
They
you
cut a
jump in.
hole.
Uh-huh.
It's quite a deal.
Yeah.
Oh.
But those orcas watching this morning and listening in that beautiful water, I mean, it does make me think of them. When I did get in the cold plunge, is kind of what I thought of. Like, this is what they feel and how good this must feel to them, and just, I don't know, just a reminder of freedom and how that is not normal for us, but it is normal for them, and how they should all have the opportunity to live in their environment, in their natural environment, and which is why we're here, right? What we're going to continue to do and continue to spread education about. There's some upcoming events. Let's just kind of get to that, if that's cool. Howard, let me put you in the middle of the screen here. Way of the Whales. Talk to us about that.
Right. Coming up Saturday, all day, I think from 10 till 5. It'll be in Coopville at the high school auditorium where we've always had it. And it'll be fun. It'll be some really interesting speakers. Fred Sharp is going to be one of them. And he talks about humpbacks. He has conducted studies up in Alaska at a place called Five Fingers Lighthouse for many, many years. And what he has studied is how humpbacks communicate when they cooperate to build bubble nets, these big geometric configurations, and then 2 or 3 or up to 10 or 12 sometimes come through the bubble nets, corralling the fish into a nice tight circle, and then they open their mouths wide and dive right through them. And that has to be coordinated. And he has figured out the vocalizations that they use, and there's a team leader, and there's a start message, and they all do it. And this time he's not one to hold back. Fred Sharp, he gets right into it, and he's going to be talking about his efforts to communicate with whales as a model for contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. In other words, there's all this attention out into space to try to find, intelligent life to communicate with. And what he's saying is, you're looking the wrong way, folks.
Yeah.
Down into the sea, and you will find that there's very intelligent life there that knows how to communicate also. And we need to learn how to communicate with them. So I think that'll be pretty fascinating. And then Jared Towers, also a great storyteller. He'll be joining us from northern Vancouver Island, where he is based. And he is a foremost expert on everything to do with BIGs, transient orcas. And so he will tell us just some really interesting things about them, new insights, new discoveries, and how the whole population is doing, and how they're starting to use artificial intelligence to track whales, a lot like if you've heard of Happy Whale, which is a automated way of identifying humpbacks from anywhere. Send them in a photo, and they'll match it with their massive database and get the record of where that particular whale has been to help with IDs. So he'll talk about that, and about a rescue operation that is really, really interesting, about how they were able to lure a couple of male orcas out of Barnes Lake, which is a high tide lake. At low tide, it's cut off from the ocean. So they went in at high tide and couldn't get out for a couple of months. And they probably would have died there if they hadn't been lured out. And he'll describe how that went down. And then we'll have a panel that will be about salmon, about saving salmon, basically. Speakers from a whole lot of different places to support Southern residents, basically. Brad Hansen from NOAA, Darren Croft, who's executive director of the Center for Whale Research, Tara Galuska, the Washington Orca Recovery Coordinator under the Governor's Office, and Kayloni Scott of the Nez Perce tribe and American Rivers. And they'll talk about how to recover salmon, how to bring back healthy populations of salmon. And I'm going to start out the day, I think, I'm early on the schedule anyway, to give my version of Toki's legacy, which will be how her life has affected us, and how we've learned so much from her, and what that means for us. in terms of our way of looking at her family, the Southern residents, and at what they need, and what we need to do to help them. Well, it's a little more complicated than that. I'm going to go into a lot of history. I'm going to go back to 1995 when we first began to campaign for her return, and what I've learned from her over these years. So it'll be a full day, and we're going to have a silent auction and lots of mingle time. So it's always beyond expectations because it's a face-to-face encounter, but it will also be online. We did this last year, and our wizards were able to make it work so that it was a hybrid event, also online. In fact, Jared will be in Alaska, not Alaska, in northern Vancouver Island, rather, to talk from there. So it's going to be a really a fun occasion. A lot of people, meet people that they only see once a year at Ways of Wales or very rarely. So it'll be a lot of fun, and we're all looking forward to it. Yeah, there it is. Saturday, January 20, hybrid event. So please join us one way or another, and there's got to be a sign up. I don't have a link for that. Well,
I do. We're gonna put that up. So folks, if you go to orcanetwork.org, the very first thing you're gonna see is it says Way of the Whales. You click there, and it's gonna take you to what you're looking at here. And then you scroll down, and there's the agenda, and then the registration. So whether it's in person, I think I'm showing it right. Yeah. Virtual, and then some more information and some other things you can add on, including a donation to Orca Network, which we really appreciate you guys doing and sharing this information, Howard. TokiTV would like to send someone virtually. So if you are interested, you have to follow directions. So you have to put Way of the Whales in the comments and put your name. Even if Facebook shows your name there, you still have to add your name. So if you say Way of the Whales and put your name at the end of the show, we'll do a quick drawing, and we'll sponsor TokiTV will sponsor someone to be able to participate virtually, because we all know the money's going back to Toki's legacy. So yeah, so guys, if you want to put your name, Cindy, put your name in there, say Way of the Whales in the comments and your name, and at the end of the show we'll do that. Sorry, that was impromptu, but
that's great. Thank you for that. I didn't have all that right at my fingertips, so appreciate that.
Cool. I'm looking forward to that. I watched last year, and so I will, of course, be watching again this year. And yeah, just thanks, Howard.
And it'll be recorded for future reference, of course.
Awesome. Maybe we can show some clips on Sunday. No promises, but maybe we can show some clips for those who couldn't do it, especially the Toki's legacy part. Thank you, Howard, for continuing to educate and share her love. Appreciate it.
Thanks for giving me time to talk about it.
Always. What else is going on? Center for Whale Research. What's going on with them?
Well, the excitement there is the long-awaited new boat under construction for a year. There it is. And on its maiden voyage, which was just intended to be a delivery from Port Angeles to Snug Harbor on San Juan Island, lo and behold, there were T's in the water. So they went out and had a full-scale encounter and made IDs, and they didn't have the drone with them, which is an essential part of most encounters, but they certainly will. But that boat has a huge bow space of deck for people to be able to launch drones, have a whole team out there. Someone's got to launch, someone's got to guide, there's got to be 2 or 3 people out there. And there's plenty of room for that. And the boats that they have been using had just a covered bow that you really couldn't get out on. So this is a great research boat. It's got a lot more range. It's much quieter. It's going to be a fantastic research boat. So you'll be seeing pictures of that on the water, I'm sure, all summer.
Woohoo.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of good news. Lots of good news. Anything else? Langley Wilson, anything you want to share? Anything else, Howard?
Oh, well, no, things are just proceeding apace, you know. I mean, it would seem like this is a slow time of year, but there's whales every day. I mean, we're getting reports. The ones from Limekiln this morning started the day. I haven't looked for the last hour. There's probably more that have shown up since then. And there's been this humpback. Let's see, the name I don't have right here, CRC 00628, something like that. Anyway, it has an official designation, but it's a little juvenile humpback that's been hanging out it's been about a month now. Every day, right off Point Defiance, between the south end of Vashon Island, Point Defiance, in sort of central south Puget Sound, and just delighting people. I've seen pictures of, I don't know, 50 or 60 people on the beach just lined up watching this whale who's been, doing what humpbacks do. As Herman Melville said, the most playful and gamesome of all the whales. So this little guy has been just kind of, not knowingly probably, but entertaining a lot of folks down there.
Well, and the mama's nearby, I'm hoping, right?
And what is nearby?
The baby's mama, right?
Oh,
he's not alone, is he?
No, well, this is a juvenile, but humpback.
Oh, a juvenile. Okay, I was thinking it was baby. Okay.
Yeah, the humpback split off from mama at about 1 year.
Okay.
And they may rejoin at some point for a while, but they're basically just one big family.
I love it. So, Howard, I have a question for you. So yesterday we saw, Casey found it first, but it was an article about the new J60, and they think she's really, or he is underweight. What do you know about that? Have you heard anything about that?
Well, I haven't seen any real official notice, but I've seen the photos.
Yeah.
And, there's some mysterious circumstances. For one thing, he was with another whale, J42, not his, or J40, not his mama, for a while. And then was seen in 2 later encounters with J42, who is presumed now to probably be his mama. But J42 had some fresh rake marks, which could indicate there might have been an argument about that baby.
Oh.
We don't know. And the photos, well, I've misjudged peanut head, the shape, the contour of the head behind the skull is sometimes indented a little bit. And this is such a new baby, it just maybe hasn't filled out yet. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want to, raise alarm, but I'm sure that it's something everybody is watching, looking for future encounters with them and see how the baby is doing. But
yeah,
nothing certain, but yeah, there's some concern there.
Yeah. So everybody, we need to send good vibes and prayers for that little one.
Yeah, we do.
And
come
for
on,
all
J60.
Baby J.
Yeah, Baby J.
Thanks, Howard. That's a lot of information there, and you're right. There is a lot going on. This really would be a kind of a mellow time, but it's not. There's a lot going on. Speaking of a lot going on, I don't know, Christina, do you want to kind of intro us into what we're doing in March, and then we can listen to the NPR article, or how do you want to do it?
Whatever you want to do, I can do that. We're the dam busters, and we're gonna bust the dams down. but we really are. We're going to have an event here at the Capitol in Olympia on March 11th at 11 until 1. And we're going to have some really great speakers. Howard will be there. And Lalone, the other person he was just speaking with Nez Perez, and London Fletcher and Joel, and even Mother Nature is going to speak a little bit. So it should be really interesting, and we're going to be focusing on like the 137 species that are on the brink of extinction and how important each one of those are to our ecosystem here in the Salish Sea, because every one of those animals is just as important as the other one. And it's not just about the salmon, it's not just about the orcas, you know, it's about an entire ecosystem. And we need to make sure that we take care of that, because I mean, honestly, we are, whatever we do to the environment, we ultimately do it to ourselves. So it's just really important that we raise more awareness and we demand that these dams are breached. So that's why we're going to the Capitol in Olympia. We're going to be right across from Governor Inslee's office. And we're going to have like some little skits about all of the species that we're talking about, the 137, and we'll be representing them, each and every one of them, at this rally. So if you guys can come, that's great. If you can't come, I mean, there's other ways for you to support it by, you know, just spreading the awareness and talking to people about it and calling and writing. And I know it's just like, oh, geez, we're still talking about the dams. You know, it's like we're still trying to breach these dams. And I know you all are getting fried, and you know, it's hard, but we got to keep going because we can never give up. Never, ever. So really, I'm looking for any volunteers, and I'm looking for school teachers to do some art of all of the different species that we can have there. You know, you can like mail it, or you can fax it, however you can get it to me, and we will have all of that presented there. And it's going to be a really nice rally. We have Right as Rain, the band, and they're an awesome band. I should have sent you the link for that song, because they're the ones that sing that song. You know, dams, 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 take them down.
I'm sure I can find it. We've played it.
Yeah, so they're going to be playing some music for us, and yeah, it's going to be a really good event, and we need a lot of people to show up, because if a lot of people don't show up, it actually kind of hurts us instead of makes it, you know, better. So really need that support from all the local people that are around. That's just like really important. We'll have some, and anybody who has costumes, that would be awesome too, because I'd like to have some of the species in costumes. And we'll have, of course, a pot of orcas. So yeah, so I'm probably forgetting something, but I think that about sums it up. I think I have a couple other guest speakers that might come on. I'm waiting for them to get back with me. So am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's going to be, there's a bunch of people co-hosting. Christina is the lead on this. Christina, you've done so much work to prep for this and get the permit and get everything together. So just however you guys watching feel like you can help support in any kind of way, please reach out to us. You can reach out to me on Messenger, Christina on Messenger. I put a link for the Facebook event page. So for those of you on Facebook, click that link, please, and share it. If you can't go, someone may be able to. And so just if you guys don't mind, just everyone go through and share that. Click going so it shows up on your page. Like let's just build it up. It's a short time away. It's 2 months. There's a lot to do. But this is, one of those things that's like we say breach now, right? We can't breach in 6 months and plan, take too long to plan another event. So it's a short time frame, but it's really, really important. And so anything and everything that you guys can do to support it, even if you're home and you can just click share, please do that. It's really important. So thanks, Christina. March 11th, we'll talk about that every week, where we are, what we need. School teachers, like she said, Mary Ward, if you're listening, reach out, please, and see if your TokiTV warriors from your high school can participate in any kind of way. That would be fabulous. Any other teachers out there, please, please get in touch. So I put the link on there. So you just scroll through, those of you on Facebook, and click on it, and please share that event. Like she said, they're going to have the orcas there. We all know how the dams are affecting the salmon, which in fact, in turn, I should say, affects the orcas. And Alma has created some slides for us to be able to share with you guys in the education piece. It's not just the orcas. There's a lot of species that are affected. So 137 actually. So Alma, I'm going to kick it over to you, and we'll read some of these slides.
All righty. Yeah, so you all know how a web works. When, the web is intact, it's one of the strongest things on the planet. When pieces are broken off, the web weakens and then everything suffers. So, all of these species are important to that web of life. So the red fox is one of the 137 species. These are just fun facts about these animals that are the 137. Males are called dogs and females are called vixens. Vixens are occasionally assisted in rearing their cubs by a non-breeding sister or a female cub from a previous litter. These aunts gain valuable experience, which helps them to rear their own litter successfully the next season. Very much like whales, right? Occasionally, there can be two dog foxes associated with one vixen. Appreciating their ability to adapt and survive in various environments enhances our comprehension of how they contribute to the intricate web of life in many different ecosystems.
Awesome. Thanks, Alma. I'll take the next one. A tufted puffin. Tufted puffins are colorful seabirds, also known as parrots of the sea, that spend winters in the open ocean and return to shore only to breed. They hunt by diving at depths of up to 100 feet and search out a school of fish. Once the prey is spotted, puffins dive in pursuit. They can store large quantities of small fish in their bills and carry them to their chicks. Tufted puffins are usually silent and produce a relatively small number of sounds, mostly low in volume. And I'm going to add that tufted puffins are really, really cute. I think they're super cute. All right. Let's take it to our grizzly. Deb Cruz, you will need to unmute.
And this is interesting because we've got a group of us who are working on restoring the grizzlies to the North Cascades. So, can I have the slide back? Grizzlies are apex predators, hunting large prey such as caribou, but they're also very opportunistic. They will eat carrion, salmon, berries, and even clams. Via a process of delayed implantation, embryos are stored until the mother has gained enough weight for hibernation. Female grizzly bears give birth while hibernating. The grizzly cubs will stay in the den drinking milk until the end of the winter and will continue to nurse for as long as 3 years. They don't eat, pee or poop during hibernation, so they bulk up and gain as much as 400 pounds in weight before going into hibernation. they are actually able to turn excess ura back into protein, meaning they actually gain muscle while hibernating.
Awesome. Thank you. Deborah.
Forester's tern. A forester's tern is a colonial nester with a colony size ranging from 1 to 1,000 per nest. Males will practice courtship, feeding as the females will beg for food using a kurr, kurr, kurr call. Once they find a mate, they're monogamous for life. They winter in the Caribbean, the Cayman Islands, Turks, Cayucos, and Puerto Rico. That's not such a bad life.
Harbor seal. Harbor seals' whiskers are so sensitive that they can sense a fish over 100 miles away. Their whiskers can also determine the size and shape of a fish using vibrations from the water. Harbor seals can dive to depths of 300 feet and remain under the water holding their breath for up to 28 minutes. Whew. They are peaceful animals and rarely aggressive, except for when they're competing for mates in the breeding season. They are curious, yet shy, prefer unpopulated areas, and are more likely to haul out on protected beaches. Harbor seals have a higher metabolic rate than of a comparable land mammal. This allows them to generate greater levels of body heat and thus survive in the cold northern waters. And also, they're really cute too.
Yes, they are. All right, let's go to these guys. Oops, I'm sorry, Howard. I'm going to start you over. I had you muted. Go ahead.
There we are. And our next species that depends upon salmon to return to their rivers to nurture the entire watersheds are pond turtles. Pond turtles have the unique ability to retract their heads, legs, and tail into their shell for protection. This is known as turtling or turtling up. Who else does that? They are known for their longevity. Some pond turtle species can live for several decades, with some individuals reaching over 50 years of age. Pond turtles play an important role in their ecosystems. They help control populations of aquatic invertebrates, disperse seeds, and contribute to nutrient cycling.
Awesome. Thank you. Oops, sorry, Alma. Go ahead.
Striped skunk. I know a lot of people don't like them, but they're another one that's really important to the web of life. Skunks are omnivores, eating both plant matter, such as fruit, berries, and nuts, as well as insects, small mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. This makes them valuable in controlling pest populations. Skunks are excellent diggers and use their sharp claws to search for food, including digging up the ground in search of insect larvae, grubs, and worms. This behavior helps aerate the soil and can be beneficial for the ecosystem. Skunks are primarily nocturnal animals, which reduces their interactions with humans and other diurnal animals. So they kind of like to stay out of trouble. Skunks play a role in seed dispersal as they move around. They may inadvertently carry seeds on their fur, helping to spread plant diversity in different areas.
Awesome. Thank you.
Those skunks are so cute. Yes. So canvasback. One of the most remarkable features of canvasbacks is their specialized bill. These bills are long, narrow, and sloping, which makes them excellent foragers. They use their bills to dive underwater and
feed on aquatic plants, seeds, invertebrates, wow, such as clams and snails. Canvasbacks are strong and agile swimmers. They are capable of diving to considerable depths, sometimes reaching up to 30 feet underwater in search of food. These ducks are known for their long distance migrations. During the breeding season, they can be found in the northern parts of North America, including Alaska and Canada. During winter, they migrate southward to the coastal areas of the United States and Mexico. Canvasbacks form monogamous pairs during breeding seasons and build nests near water bodies, often in marshes and wetlands. The females lay a clutch of 7 to 10 eggs, which she incubates for 24 to 28 days. The ducklings are I don't know what that word is, precocial, meaning they are able to leave the nest shortly after hatching and feed themselves.
Awesome. Thanks for doing that on the fly, Stephanie.
The American martin. Martins are known for their curiosity and playful behavior. They have been observed sliding down snowy slopes and engaging in games with each other, displaying their active and lively nature. These carnivores have a diverse diet, feeding on small animals, birds, insects, and even fruits and berries. Their opportunistic feeding habits make them important in maintaining ecosystem balance. Martins are well adapted to cold climates. Their thick fur and bushy tail help them withstand harsh winter conditions, while their smaller size allows them to navigate through dense vegetation. Martins are considered an indicator species for forest health. Their presence in an ecosystem indicates a healthy and well-functioning forest ecosystem.
Awesome. Thanks, Deb.
The harbor porpoise. Porpoises, or porpi, well, okay, that's just my word, are small cetaceans closely related to dolphins and whales. The harbor porpoise is one of the smallest and most widespread of porpoises. They have a unique way of breathing. Unlike dolphins, porpoises cannot store oxygen in their muscles and need to breathe more frequently. They typically surface every 20 to 30 seconds, taking a quick breath before diving again. They have excellent hearing and use echolocation to navigate and find food. By emitting clicks and listening to the echoes, they can create a mental map of their surroundings. Harbor porpoises are known for their curious behavior, occasionally approaching boats and surfacing near the shore.
Awesome. And that's the 10 that we'll cover today. We did 5 last week. Alma, again, thank you so much for gathering the fun facts. They're all important. They're all important. We talk about this web of life. And so you have a bunch of, orca dorks or whatever you want to call us, advocating and fighting for the dams. But, there's probably groups for advocating for the grizzly bears, and it's time to join with everyone. There's 137 species affected. And probably, Deb Cruz can probably talk about this more than anyone with her involvement in fighting for the dams. And, it's time to care about the grizzly and, the tufted puffin and this little guy, the American martin. I mean, they all matter, and it's time to advocate for all of them. So thank you, Alma, for taking this part on in our group, the Dam Busters. You guys are all Dam Busters, by the way. So join up. Let us know how you can help. You want to come and read some facts on TokiTV? Yeah, exactly. Maria Papadopoulos, I think, is going to hang out with us next week. Different folks, just come on and let's do this together, you guys. It's time to do this together. Christina?
Yeah. Well, I'm learning about these little critters too. obviously I don't know about all of them. And like, it sounds like, you know, like the little skunk is so cute, and he's kind of like a little pollinator, you know. I mean, that's like really important, you know, stuff he's doing there. So, you know, I know they have a scent or whatever, but boy, look at that. Look at all that stuff he does. And he really controls pests, and he distributes seeds and stuff. So it's like every one of these little beings is so important. Yep. Each one is really important. So it's
This guy,
for a lot. Yeah. No,
this
you
guy
go.
helps to spread plant diversity in different areas. I mean, how cool is he, right?
Right?
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep. I think so. I think that, you know, it's like, and Alma said, the web, however you want to describe it, but really one doesn't exist without the other. You know, that's how it works. It's all connected, and we need all of these animals and, you know, everything to have food. So
Yeah.
we breach the dams. The salmon literally brings the nutrients of the forest to the ocean, and vice versa. I mean, it's just really super important. So, and I know we're gonna have a huge crowd. I know it. I can see it. It's just ginormous, and we're all gonna be there. You know, and Inslee's he's gonna have to come out and show his face. Sorry. And we're gonna talk to him. We got some things to say.
I think that'll be good. Speaking of things to say, I did hear back. Let me look at my inbox here, maybe from John Carlos Frey, and some people were asking a couple weeks ago, like, what's happening with the documentary. So he just wants everyone to know they're still in the gathering interviews and materials. And up next is you know, the politicians, and you know, holding them accountable. So the documentary is it's underway. It's being worked on every single day. So John Carlos Ray, thank you for everything that you're doing, and again to the anonymous donor who helped fund that documentary. I can't wait to see it, and lots of documentaries, guys, that we're waiting on. I mean, Toki's life, right? And so couple of documentaries coming out regarding Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's, and so I look forward to hearing about those as well. And but yeah, the dams, they gotta go. And who you know, raise your hand if you're at home. You can let us know if you saw the article. Did anyone read the NPR article yesterday? It was updated yesterday, called "No Turning Back: The Largest Dam Removal in U.S. History Begins." Did anybody see that? Read that yet? Yeah. Okay, let's listen to it. It's 4 minutes. You guys cool with that? You want to hear it? All right. Let me add it to the little stage here. And if you don't hear it, give me a thumbs down. If you hear it, give me a thumbs up, and then we'll listen.
And started letting water flow through the lowest section of the river. It's a critical stage in a process that is expected to last through 2024. Jefferson Public Radio's Eric Newman reports.
The dam that was opened yesterday is the lowest on the river. It's huge, 173 feet tall, made of earth and rock. And after a 16-foot wide tunnel was opened at the base yesterday morning, a plume of chocolate milk brown water surged through, containing sediment that had accumulated over decades. Mark Bransom is the CEO of the Klamath River Renewal Corporation, the organization in charge of dam removal.
For the first time, you know, in 100 years beginning today, the river is actually coming back to life.
The Klamath River flows more than 250 miles from Oregon through far northern California, where it joins the Pacific Ocean. But for decades, much of the river has been blocked by 4 hydroelectric dams. Several tribes up and down this river have been at the forefront of protests to remove them for the health of fish, including salmon. Amy Cordalis is a member of the Yurok tribe and a longtime advocate for dam removal.
This is historic and life-changing, and it means that the Yurok people have a future. It means the river has a future, the salmon have a future.
Cordalis is an attorney for the Yurok tribe and one of a younger generation of activists who took up the fight after the pioneering work of older tribal members like Leif Hillman. He's a member of the nearby Karuk tribe who helped start the campaign to take out the dams more than 20 years ago.
As one generation, you know, moves on and passes on, the new generation is there to pick up the fight, and so it really has been a multi-generational struggle to remove these dams.
The Klamath was once the third largest salmon producing river on the West Coast, but over the past century, the salmon numbers have shrunk. The dams cut off spawning habitat and created conditions for fish diseases. Scientists are hopeful that ultimately taking out the dams will help the population rebound. Sherry Whitmore is a biologist with NOAA Fisheries. She helped evaluate the impacts to salmon from dam removal on the Klamath.
So when dams come out, we will have over 400 miles of Chinook habitat available, which we expect over time will be a greater than 80% increase in Chinook populations in the Klamath.
She says it's also expected to be a major step in the recovery of the river's more vulnerable coho salmon. Reconnecting this single ecosystem, she says, will allow these species to extend their habitat. That'll help them better withstand heat waves, disease outbreaks, and increase their genetic diversity.
And that creates a lot of resilience over time with climate change, and it buffers against multi-year droughts.
Improving these fish populations, Whitmore says, will also help killer whales in the ocean and commercial fishermen. But there are some who are concerned about the possible effects of dam removal, like many in the small community of Copco Lake. In the coming weeks, homes that were once on the lake will now be on a mudflat as the reservoir behind the dam turns back into a narrower river. Francis Gill is a resident and the chief of the volunteer fire department. He's worried about property values going down and fighting fires without the lake as a water source.
Especially just with the way the wildfires have been getting the last 10 years, they just blow up so fast and get so big so quickly.
There are other dams being considered for removal in the U.S., like those on the lower Snake River in Washington state. Dave Owen is a professor at UC Law San Francisco, where he teaches environmental and water law. He says while other dams might face bigger legal and political hurdles to removal, large projects like those on the Klamath do create possible models.
But still, every time we do this, and we do this at a big scale, we learn new things about the legal pathways. I think the other way it helps is it just helps people see that this is possible and that it can be highly successful.
By the end of February, water will be let out of the two other upriver Klamath dams and be flowing freely through this section of the river for the first time in a century, carving a new channel for itself as it heads to the ocean. For NPR News, I'm Eric Newman on the Klamath River.
Yeah. Oops, I have everyone. Probably Howard can speak on that. I mean, he's seen firsthand.
Indeed, this is really great news. I really hadn't heard all of that the other two dams will be open by the end of February, and the river will run free. And of course, there's going to be a lot of sediment, and it's going to be, washing down for quite a while until it clears up. Who knows? I don't know. It always tends to surprise people how soon it clears up and rebuilds a new riverbed that is suitable for salmon. But as they mentioned, that's 400 miles, which is an awful lot, and the third of the greatest producers of salmon on the West Coast after the Columbia and the Sacramento system. 400 miles is an awful lot. But the Snake River wilderness area above the dams is 5,500 miles. So the scale is many, many times more for the Snake River. Still just 4 dams. It's not any more complicated a project, probably less so in a lot of ways, because you don't have to blow up concrete, just earthen berms on the sides of the concrete dams. It's just the political opposition is a bit greater on the Snake River, but biologically, it's not any more difficult, and the benefits are many, many times over, even the massive benefits of taking out the Klamath dams. So we're on track.
That's awesome.
Reaching the dams is also a tribal issue. So I want to be able to make sure that that's understood, and that is a significant part, especially with the agreement that came out. But the restoration of the salmon populations will also help the tribes to feed themselves and create economic security for themselves, as well as ensure that those elements of their culture aren't washed and wiped away.
Right.
I'd like to add something about what Deb just said about the indigenous people that were here before and the treaties that are being broken. I think we all need to remember that it's we the people. We're the government. It's our treaty. It's your treaty. This is not a treaty with indigenous people and Pacific power companies. It's your treaty, and they're breaking that treaty in your name. That's why we keep fighting. We keep fighting because the Orca keep fighting. Our indigenous friends keep fighting. It's our treaty.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Deborah, for saying that. Absolutely. Don't have permission to break it in my name.
Absolutely.
And if you're a Washingtonian, I mean, I personally resent the fact that I pay taxes to keep these dams up. I mean, there's a lot of reasons they need to go down. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've already jacking up our power rates, and the
Right.
dams are still there. I'm wearing a vest. I'm wearing a shawl because it's cold, because the power is so expensive already. So that's just an excuse for the people that are speaking in our name to make more money.
Yep.
Thank you.
Well,
And
we're gonna do it.
It's all of our responsibility. We all picked a quote today to share with you all. And Christine, are you ready to read yours?
Sure.
I'm gonna put it on the screen. It's gonna go a little fast. So okay.
I'm ready. So my quote is from Sylvia Earle. And it is, "The ocean is the blue heart of the planet. So we should take care of our heart. It's what makes life possible for us. We still have a really good chance to make things better than they are. They won't get better unless we take the action and inspire others to do the same thing. No one is without power. Everybody has the capacity to do something." And I want to just say that you can do something every day of your life, even just in a choice that you make and what you're eating or what you're buying or how you're traveling, because we all make a difference every single day. So please, let's care about our blue heart.
Thanks, Christina. Stephanie, you ready?
My quote is from Jane Goodall. You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and what you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make.
Thank you. Let's see. I don't have these in any kind of order, so I think this would be Casey. Jacques Cousteau, right?
Yep. The sea, the great unifier, is man's only hope. Now as never before, the old phrase has a literal meaning. We are all in the same boat.
Thank you. Alma?
This is Albert Einstein, who I think understood the universe more than many. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty.
Awesome. Thank you. Who did Robert Swan? Is that you, Deborah?
That was me.
Okay.
The greatest threat to our planet is to believe that someone else will save it. Robert Swan. And we are all someone else.
Read that one more time. It's beautiful.
The greatest threat to our planet is to believe that someone else will save it. And then I added and we're all someone else. That was my add.
Love it. Goes along with my short one that I've shared before, and I will share it probably 50 more times this year because it's important for all of us. That's Lily Tomlin. I always wondered why somebody doesn't do something about that. Then I realized I was somebody. So, here we go. Let's see who. There's another. Oh, I'll read this for Marcia. Marcia, I know you're watching. Marcia picked this one. So the danger to our future is apathy. Only if we understand, we will care. Only if we care, we will help. Only if we help shall we all be saved. And that was a quote by Jane Goodall. Let's see. Thomas Berry, who did that one? Jeff Cruz, here we go.
This is a quote that's on the bottom of all my emails. We are talking only to ourselves. We are not talking to the rivers. We are not listening to the wind and stars. We have broken the great conversation. And by breaking that conversation, we have shattered the universe.
Wow. Thank you, Deb. And Howard.
Yeah, mine's a little long. I guess I didn't understand the assignment, but I think it's good.
It's perfect. Here we go.
This is by Rena Priest, Lakhtamish native and the former poet laureate of the state of Washington, who reminds us that yes, salmon as a collective can be heroes too, and why not? They embody all the characteristics that qualify a hero worthy of celebration. Adventurous and brave, they swim from the shallows of their natal rivers out into the perils of the open ocean, where their bodies soak up the rich nutrients of the sea. Persistent, resilient, and strong, they swim upstream against swift currents for hundreds of miles to return home to spawn and complete the cycle of life. And when they die, the marine-derived nutrients are transferred from their bodies to all the animals, insects, soil, and plants of their original forest home. In this way, their hero's journey is powerfully transforms barren inland landscapes into lush ecosystems. They are a keystone species, meaning without them, the whole system could collapse.
I have my own.
Okay, Alejandra.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Breach the dams. Respect the orcas. Love the orcas. Don't be a chicken wet. How it sounds. Alejandro Dintino. Chicken wet.
Right on, right on.
And do it now. Do it now.
Yeah, seriously, reach down now. The other one I wanted to share, and because I really think that we took this in, right? Like we really took this in. This group, all of you watching, from Ken Balcom, and what he said is we're in need of a spiritual push. Deb Cruz and I are button pressing at the same time. We're in need of a spiritual push. And I really feel like we brought that together, all of us, over the last couple of years, and really transforming that into to one of a spiritual conversation, and it takes all of it. It takes the action, it takes the letters, it takes the prayers, it takes all of it. All of it matters, all of it helps, all the signs being made, all the posts being shared, all the fists in the air, like it all matters. So thank you everyone for what you brought and what you continue to bring to this. And like Christina said earlier, we know many people have been doing this for many, many years. And so if you haven't, and you haven't been involved, let's get involved, right? Let's get more people involved. And the bigger the bigger the audience, right? Like the more people spreading awareness, the bigger the audience. And that's what we need. We need more people. So So thank you all for everything you do and have continued to do to fight for Sk'aliCh'elh-tenaut's and now in her legacy fight for her family. So just from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Does anybody else have anything they want to say before we close? And we'll close with the Take Those Damn Dams Down video. It's an older video, but it's still important. So Deb Cruz, any final thoughts? Good. Stephanie, Casey?
Love everyone. Mwah. Stay warm and safe if you're in the cold climate like we are.
Yeah. Alejandro?
He's muted.
You're muted, Alejandro.
Merry Christmas.
And that's Alejandro.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I see you next weekend. Okay. Thank you.
Alma, anything? Again, thank you, Alma, for sharing the fun facts. It's really important.
So welcome. I just loved that last quote from Howard that, breaching the dams doesn't have to be, it's not a big destructive thing. It's a simple process of releasing water and, some berms are, affected, and it's not destructive. It's easy. Let's just get it done. And there's no reason to not do it. Love you guys.
Thank you. Deborah?
We the people, one tribe. We the people.
Yeah. Christina, you want to read that quote for Ma? And then
Oh
final
yeah,
words?
sure. Because I think it's really, really significant, and she couldn't come today. So it's from Alexandra Morton, and I'm sure you guys are all familiar with her. But it's, if we lose the southern residents, it will be the first extinction where every individual's name was known. So
Wow.
let that sink in for a minute.
Wow. Thanks, Christina. Any final words?
Breach the dams. Dam busters.
Dam busters. Howard?
Let the Snake River run free. Let the salmon get up and down.
Awesome. So Tamala wins the registration. So Tamala, I'll be in touch with you on Messenger, and TokiTV will sponsor you to attend Way of the Whales, which is Saturday, guys. So if you we'll post it, keep posting on the page. Something you guys definitely, if you have not attended, or even if you have, it's always different. So more information, new information, different information. So we'll see you guys on Sunday. We'll see many of you at Way of the Whales on Saturday. And again, we're going to close with this video. Deb Cruz, do you know when this was, when they made this video? The Take the Damn Dams Down, Take them down. Do you remember when that was? Do you guys?
I think it's just only a couple years ago.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think so, but I don't know.
You'll see some stuff in there. It looks a little older. But no. It's probably true. But just so you guys know, it's not a brand new video, but it's still relevant. So we're gonna close with that. Love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
My dear salmon, where are you? You are nowhere to be found. We've made it so you can't get through. Take those damn dams down, take them down. Take them down, 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 take them down. All the treasures that we've lost, just to benefit a few. It was never worth the cost. Take those damn dams down, take 'em down. Take 'em down, 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 take 'em down. We hear our politicians say this is the only way, but we're the ones who pay. And deep in our hearts we know what's true. Change comes from me and you. Together we will see this through. Come on, people, raise your voice. We need everyone to say, time is now, we have no choice. Take those damn dams down, take 'em down. Take 'em down, 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 take 'em down. Take those damn dams down, take 'em down. Take 'em down, 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 take 'em down.